Okay, so uh, let's talk about quiz 12. Today we move on the so-called meal plan. Meal plan is a way for us to write up a paragraph. It is very similar to Tolman model. Tolman model emphasizes on the claim and the ground, and warrant, backing, rebuttal, and point out qualifier. But basically, when we talk about meal is the same thing, but just with a different way of seeing it, how to write a paragraph. So today I'm going to use the quiz number 12 for you to have some idea about how to create, what are the major concepts that you need to know about meal plan. So the first one, let's talk about this one. How many video clips do you require? The answer is 6, right? So what does meal mean? The meal plan in writing a sentence refers to this one. You have a main thing is a topic sentence, and it follows with evidence and examples, and we come out with some analysis, and by the end of the paragraph, you link your discussion to the conclusion. So meal plan refers to main thing, evidence and example, analysis, and a link to the conclusion. So it's not something else. So it's just about this. Okay. So remember, this process is very similar to Tolman model. Later I will tell you with another question. So this one. So when we write up a paper, when we write a paragraph, which statement is wrong? Okay. First one, let's look at this one. Main idea appears in the topic sentence. It is true. So look here, we have a meal, right? Meal, M N E A L. So main idea appears in the topic sentence. It is true. And evidences and examples appear in the beginning of the paragraph. No, this should be the topic sentence, right? So the main idea should be in the beginning of the paragraph. So where are the evidences and examples? Well, once you have the claim, the main idea, then you need to follow up with the evidences and examples. And the next one is analysis. Analysis appears in the body sentences. So basically, these two evidences and analysis, they will appear in the body sentences, just used to support your main idea. And the last one is link. Link to the central concept appears in the conclusion sentence. So you can see that this is the topic sentence, and this is the body paragraphs, and this is the conclusion sentence, main idea. Okay, so this is meal plan. Okay, so the next one, which one is wrong? Let's take a look about this one. Did you see this is exactly the Tolman model we talk about? We have a claim, evidence, warrant, backing, qualifier, and rebuttal, right? So what are they? Claim is what you are trying to prove. This is your topic sentence, no doubt. And evidence or ground is your opinion. This is wrong because when we say we provide evidence or ground, it has to be solid. It has to be proved by some others. It has come out from some statistical analysis, some results, some findings from other people, other scholars' studies. So basically, evidences are grounds. All grounds must be solid. They are used to support your claim. So that's why they are evidence. So when you say you are presenting the evidence, you do not present your opinion. You present something that is so solid. So evidence or ground is the results of some other people's study or some proved fact. Okay? And a warrant explains how the evidence proves the claims. So basically, it provides a linkage, a link between evidence to claim. So warrant is to provide the supporting link for evidence and the claim. Okay, and the backing helps a warrant or a rebuttal. That is true because maybe you want to provide some additional reasons so to say why warrant can be used to support evidence to claim. And number 5 is qualifier. Qualifier states the strength of a claim. Why you need to state the strength of the claim? Because they are rebuttals. Rebuttals are the exemption of the claim. When you say something is that just you want to prove, this is something you want to prove, but there are some exceptions. So you have to foresee the exceptions and write the exceptions into your paragraph. So these exceptions are called as rebuttals. Okay, so this is number 4. And let's move to number 5. Other than mere print, we will also learn the 11 sentence paragraph structure today. So basically, when we say 11 sentence paragraph, normally the typical form, the standardized form, there must be 11 sentences. It includes introduction, first claim, first evidence, and the first warrant. So you can see 4 sentences. And the next one is second claim, second evidence, and the second warrant. And the next one is a third claim, third evidence, and third warrant. So come out with one conclusion. So in total, we have 11 sentences, 1, 3, 3, and 3, and 1. But this is a very mechanical way to see how to write a paragraph, right? But normally we do not do this. But why bother to learn 11 sentence paragraph? Because this is about the logical flow of thought that you need to write. So remember, when we talk about 11 sentence paragraph, it's not related to the number of the sentences. It is not. The number here is irrelevant, but the logic flow is very important. So what is the logic flow we talk about? Basically, we must have a topic sentence to start our claim. So this is our claim, right? Our claim. And followed with the body paragraph to lay out either you can say this is meal, so this is evidence and analysis. Or we can say this is something included with the ground to claim and supported by a warrant and supported by backing possibly, and also with the consideration of rebuttal, and this is a qualifier. Okay, so all the components, the body sentence, body paragraph, body sentences here can be dissected into this structure or this structure. But when we talk about 11 sentence paragraph, we are using this. Just give you an idea. We can have a claim, evidence, and warrant, claim, evidence, and warrant, claim, evidence, and warrant, and so on. And the last part is the conclusion. Conclusion in the meal print, it is L, right? A link to the central idea of the discussion. So basically, remember, when we say we have an 11 sentence paragraph structure, it is about the logical flow of thought, but not about the number of sentences. So can you write a paragraph with 5 sentences? Fine. 17 sentences? Fine. As long as your logical flow is clear. That is good. Okay, so this is what we need to talk about quiz number 12. Okay, so any question you would like to ask? So let's take a look at about this 11 sentence paragraph. We start with the main idea and end with the conclusion sentence, right? So inside here we have a bunch of analysis, evidences, and according to the 11-sentence paragraph, we have a claim, evidence is awarded. So we start with the AHS is an amazing school. But why? If this is your claim, then your readers will be amazed, will be loved to find out why it is the case. So you provide 3 of your opinions. One is here. First of all, we managed to raise our test score last year by quite a bit. And number 2, your second opinion, claim. Furthermore, we have some of the best students in the area. So this is number 2, right? And number 3 is here. Lastly, our teachers are real innovators, often teaching other teachers how to teach. So look here. The author provided 3 reasons, 3 of his own opinions to support, to say AHS is an amazing school. The first one is they got a significant increase of their test scores. The second one, they have some of the best students. Not only the students, but also the teachers are real innovators. So you see, the first one is about schools, right? So we have 3 reasons. 3 reasons are just like this. 3 reasons. Claim number 1 is schools. Great, advanced. Number 2 is about students. And number 3 claim is about teachers. Okay, that sounds great, right? But these are only claims. You say so, but could you prove it? So when you say this is the claim, right? This is the claim, but would you like to prove that the schools, the students, and the students described in your sentences here are so impressive? Okay, so now the evidence. The evidence for the first claim, first of all, we managed to raise our test score last year by quite a bit. You can see this is the evidence. We went from the number 5 to the 5th to the 40th percentile in 1 year. Wow, that's great. Something no other school in the state did. So you can imagine this. The first one is the increase of the score from 5% to 40%. Wow, that's great. Up, up, and up, right? So this is the evidence number 1. And evidence number 2, you can see, is about students. We have some of the best students, right? So you can see some of the best students here. Let's see, what are the students we talk about? So we had one of the few national merit finalists in the county, which could not have happened if we did not have the right kind of environment for students to rise to that level of achievement. So look here. Our students are good, and we had one of the few national merit finalists. So the merit award is gained by our students. Wow, that's great. So you can see this is so cool, right? Okay, so some of the best students. So this is the evidence to support the claim. We have very good students. We have award winners from the state. And how about number 3? Our teachers are responsible of teaching other teachers. Wow, that's so great, right? So what are the evidences here to support this statement? And you can see we have a high number of master teachers on staff. Oops, goodness. Okay, so the next one is we have a high number of master teachers on staff, several of whom have been involved in training teachers in other schools. So look here, the third claim is that we have a very good teachers, right? And now the evidence provided here is that we have basically we have teachers. We have teachers in our school. Wow, that's great. So this is number 3 evidences. So continue with the warrant to provide the link between this one to this one, right? We have a test score. Look here. We talk about test scores, and we advanced from 5 to 40 percentile. Then what is the reasons to provide the link between this to that? So look here. Many other schools tried. Look at this. They all failed. But they didn't raise their scores by as much as we did, which makes us an amazing school. So this is the logical link to provide why an advancement from 5% to 40% is so impressive. So, okay, so this is the first component. First component to sustain the amazing school. Why? Because we have a very good score advancement. Number 1, complete. So we have a claim, evidence, and a warrant. No problem for that. And number 2, we talk about the students, right? And one of the students have the merit award. So we have an award here. And why this is significant. So here comes the reasons. Not only did we have a national merit finalists, but our students regularly earn recognition on the state level as well, which means that we have to be an amazing school to have students like that. So a good school will nurture a lot of good students. Some of the good students will reach to the top to become the finalist. Okay, so this complete the second argument. So we have the second one, right? A word, and because this is the school, come out of the good school effect. And number 3, we have good teacher. And the evidence is that they are teachers. So look here. One sign of how great a school is how experienced the teachers are. So they are experienced, right? So Albion is lucky to have many experienced teachers, making this a great school. Okay, so basically we have 3 supporting argument. 1 and 2 and number 3 is here, right? So that's why Albion High School is an amazing school. So basically this is the conclusion. AHS is truly an amazing place to study, learn, and grow. So this is a reflection, a link to the main idea. Okay, so this is what we talk about the 11-sentence paragraph structure. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes to go over the structure by yourself. Now, Let's move down the spreadsheet, and there are 3 questions. There are 2 questions and 1 assignment. And this is number 2, and this is assignment. So let me explain this to you. First of all, you are going to work as a group. So the team leaders have to lead your members to have a group discussion. So you can use your group, just like this one. You can use your group for your own discussion. Okay, and each group can have a brainstorming and come up with the same result. And by the end of your group discussion, each group should produce your own 11-sentence paragraph. Okay, so now let me tell you how to do this. The first one I have set up for the first question. So you have to choose a topic sentence to write your first 11-sentence paragraph. So we have 20 topic sentences for you to choose. So you can choose any one of them. Choose one. And then once you choose it, you type the question, you type the topic sentence here. For example, if you choose this one, then you may want to, so this will be your topic sentence. So this is your topic sentence. And once you have the topic sentence, then you continue to provide evidences and analysis of here, and with a conclusion sentence as the link to the central concept. And by the end, this will come out with a complete sentence, paragraph, sorry. So basically, your group need to work on one of the topic of your choice. You choose one and type the topic sentence here and use the sentence to develop the body paragraphs. So we have evidence and analysis. You can follow Tolman model, Meal plan, or a very simple 11-sentence paragraph. It's all up to you. So this is the body paragraph. And once you finish it, you provide a concrete sentence as the link to the central idea concept. So for this paragraph, you are going to have 30 minutes of the time to do. Let me think. 30 minutes may not be enough. Okay. Now it's 54, and we will end your own discussion, team discussion, by 10:40. So starting from now, you are going to have 56 minutes of the time to work on your first 11-sentence paragraph. Okay, so team leaders get together your members in your own group to discuss. So by the end of the discussion, each group should produce the 1-cent version of 11-sentence paragraph, and every student has to type the 11-sentence paragraph into your own assignment sheet. Okay, so now I will just give the time to you, and I will stay here. If you have any question, you may just ask me. Okay, now every group leaders, please help up to gather your team members and let me know. So you can now start your discussion, and we will resume to give you assignment for the next paragraph at 10:40. So now, starting from now, we have 55 minutes of time for you to have your group discussion. Yeah, please.
If me and my group wants to do a Google Meet, can I leave this Google Meet or?
Yeah, you can use Google Meet. You can open the Google Meet link to your group member. It's okay. Because Google Meet can be opened in multi-monitor, multi-screen, so there should be no problem.
Okay then, thank you.
You're welcome. So you may want to use Google Meet for effective communication. So I just post one document. Another examples for you to think about the citation and references when you write up a paragraph. For example, this is a dieting making people fat. So I just post the file over here so you can check it out. And this is a way I want to give you some idea about marking the boundaries. Okay, why do we need to understand the importance of marking the boundary? So let me talk about this paragraph. I will use this paragraph for you to understand the major components of writing a paragraph. This one is a very typical. It's a very typical 11-sentence paragraph. I just wrote it up and not making too much sense. But anyway, uh, the this is the main idea, and also is a topic sentence, right? Dieting causes people to gain weight. And of course, this is the conclusion. Therefore, dieting really contributes to people gaining than losing weight. So did you see we must have identified the link between the topic sentence and the concluding sentence. So everyone inside this body paragraph are the supporting discussion for why dieting causes people to gain weight. So basically, there are three major evidences that we use for this one. This one is dieting causes people to gain weight because of one, hunger-inducing hormone. The other one is physical changes can cause the problem. Because the physical changes, it will decrease the metabolism rate. And the last one is the timing of individual's dieting. So basically, there are three different reasons for this one, and these reasons are based for this one. A Wenzao study indicates that only a minority of people who performed chronological dieting ended with successful weight loss, whereby the majority either failed to retain the lost weight or even gained more weight. So look here. Now I want you to pay attention to mark the boundary. The marked boundary, so look here, I have a citation number here. Remember, the footnote number is put at the end of the citation. So don't put here. Notice some students put in the beginning of the citation. No, it is wrong. So you have to put, this is the citation. This is the quotes from the reference, right? Indirect quotes. And you should put the number by the end of the, without space. There's no space between the period and the number. So you put over here. Don't put over here. It's very strange. Don't do this. So, and the next part I want to say, mark the boundary. So if you read, when you read this passage, Wenzao students indicate that only blah, blah, blah to here. It's very clear. You know, the citation refers to this portion, starting from here to here. And this is the beginning. And this is the ending. So how can you tell this is the beginning and this is the ending? Because I used the words here. A Wenzao study indicated that. So this means I provide you some hint. A Wenzao student study indicate. So this is mark the beginning. And there's a number here. So this mark the ending. So basically, how can we mark the boundary? We need to provide a beginning. This is the beginning. And this is the ending. So everything between the beginning and the ending are the quotes. In this case, this is the indirect quotes. Okay, so basically this, you can see we begin from here and we end with here, end at here. So we call this is a mark the boundary. Okay, it's very important for you to keep in mind. When you need to cite, you need to mark the boundaries. And let's see the other example. So once I mark the boundary, I have number one here, right? And I create a note number here. So you can see this over here. Let's take a look. This part is the hyperlink from the endnote. But this part is something I typed by myself to provide some additional information. Okay, so can we do this? Yes, of course, because when we use note bibliography system, the purpose of the notes is to provide additional information that is not suitable for you to put into the main text, main body, the body text. But you believe that it is necessary for the readers to have a comprehensive understanding about the context of your writing. So you can imagine this. It will be a little bit awkward for me to include this passage inside the body text. right? It will be a little bit awkward. So I believe that some further information I can use. So I can just put up here. So Wenzao's GIS scientists in their study showed that fat mice, when given a diet, will gain more weight in just 2 weeks. We did not do that, but suppose we were the scientists. So see Daniel Lin, Mark Lai, and Li Yuxuan, and the untold story of dieting. Okay, so look here. So basically, when you put your reference information here, let me do this again. A lot of students know, some students already know that you have to put your reference information here. But we could also add in some additional illustration here to provide a more detailed explanation about why you want to have the note number 1. So you provide explanation here, and you ask your reader to refer to the source. Okay, so this is a good way to make a reference. Okay, so don't just for most of the cases you could do this, but don't just do this. If you just do this, that will be a little bit too awkward. Okay, it will be a little bit awkward to explain. If you just put up the information here, then it will be incomplete in a sense. So consider writing your notes in this way. Okay, so let's take a move up to another one. The second notes. The second notes appear. Okay, here. The second note is here. So you see we have a number here. So this is note number 2, right? So note number 2, I will put up here. Note number 2. So as we say, we have to mark the boundaries. So the beginning is, this one is the beginning. Because our use studies have shown that this marks the beginning. So we start here and end here. This is a period here, right? So the part for the citation coming out from the source refers to this section. So if dieting is performed during the lessons, one has a higher risk of obesity, disorder eating, and overweight in the future. So this part is the citation from the studies. And I put a note here, right? So of the note, I provided some detailed illustration here. So study shows, I said study shows. So this is note number 2. Some insightful discussion about the negative effects of dieting can be found in this book, this source. So what the dieting market in Taiwan, Manpower Organization, and the side effects. Okay, and this is not the real book. I just put up there. So this, let's take a look. Let me highlight this part. So did you see this? This part apparently is coming out from the end note. Is that right? This is coming out in. And this part is added in by myself to provide some detailed illustration about when I refer to studies. So look here, I refer to studies, right? So studies. So that's why it is very important for us to keep in mind. To keep in mind about one thing. First, when you cite some citations from one source, you have to mark the beginnings. You have to mark the boundaries. In this case, mark the boundaries. The beginning part is from here. Studies have shown that, and end it with here. Okay, so here is the beginning, and this is the ending, and end with the number, note number here. So remember, you have to mark the boundary. And number 2 is that when you write out your notes, sometimes you may want to consider include some detailed illustration to provide the necessary information to make your notes more informative. So instead of presenting this only, you may want to include this discussion. Okay? So this is how we include our notes there. And the third issue I want to talk to you is about the place you should put your reference. Yes, of course. The reference list can be produced automatically by the EndNote program. This EndNote program can do this. For example, we can update citations and the bibliography, and this will be changed. So let's update it one more time. When we update, did you see that the font here, this is Times New Roman. This is Times New Roman, right? And this is not. This is Calibri. So how can we do? Well, actually, when you submit your report, you need to change the font to Times New Roman, and the font size should be 12. Okay, this is the way. And over here, when you do your notes, the default font will be calibrated again. So you have to highlight them and change to Times New Roman. So this is the way for you to present your final submissions. And when you update your reference, don't forget to put the reference here. The center, align in the center, and bold faces the references and put over here. So this is the reference. I give you take a look. So this is the reference, and this is the sources of different bibliography information. So this is about how to make a citation and the references. Okay. Let's tell you. So you need to produce use word and EndNote to write a 11-sentence meal plan, meal paragraph, and for one paragraph of your own term paper. So remember, I'm helping you to accumulate the different paragraphs so you can construct your whole essay. So we are trying to help you to develop the structure of your essay. So now you may start to think of one of your paragraph that you want to put. So you need to paste your whole paragraph here and paste your footnotes and references here. And also by the end you have to upload your file. And this file must be a Word document. This is a Word document, so please don't don't misunderstand the requirement here. This has to be a Word document, and the name of your file must be EWIA Lesson 12, and your school ID and name coming out together. So remember, you have to save your file with this format, and it's very important for you to do this. Okay, before I let you go, I want to use one of the students' essay submission for the last assignment to give you some feedback. This one has been decently well prepared, but there are still a lot of problems. I want you to give a general idea how to improve your writing. Okay, first of all, the font here is Times New Roman is fine, but you need to change to 12. So how can you change it? You change it to 12. Okay, so this is the font we require for this department and Times New Roman. Okay, so this is the first issue. And the next issue, when you develop your essay, you have to be careful about one thing. That is, this is your topic sentence. Okay, so normally the idea of the topic sentence should be reflected by your conclusion sentence. So let's take a serious look about the meaning of these two sentences. So the low quality of resources and the wrong selection of the business development strategy can easily destroy the future of a small business. But this does not really carry the same meaning about this one. Why? Working in a small business is a positive start and movement to enter work environment, which means a person, a newly graduated student from the school, and if he wants to start his career, it would be nicer. It would be nice to work in a small business for the start. But this is talking about the person who are working with a very small business. But this one talk about the low quality of the resources around selection of business. So definitely, the conclusion does not link to the main idea. Okay, so this is a serious problem. Why this is serious? Because this refers to the coherence of your argument. You want to say something about, you want to tell your neighbors or your big sister when she graduates from the school, say, hey, you need to work for a small business because this is a positive start to enter the world environment. Okay, that'll be great. But now you talk about the low quality of the small business. Okay, so that is the problem. So when we say meal, we talk about meal, right? It means that we have a main point and we have a conclusion, and the link must be there. But in this case, the link does not really reflect to the main idea. Okay, so this is issue number one. But how about issue number two? Issue number two is about the way for you to put your citation and references. There are two general forms of the reference. One is called as author date. The other one is called as footnote bibliography. In the Department of International Affairs, we use footnote bibliography. Footnote bibliography refers that this is footnote and this is the bibliography. Okay, so footnote bibliography is the style we use. But what about the author date system? Author date system is something like this. We have an author and we have the date. This is author date. Okay, so be careful. Basically, if you use footnote bibliography system, you should not mix it with the author date system. So you need to take this away. This cannot be here. So remember, we can choose either one, only one. If you are using author date, then streamline all the writing with author date. But now you are using note bibliography system, right? So if you are using this, so don't use this. Then how can you change this? Well, you can say according to, you can type in this way, according to England and Lees and Berger's studies. So basically there are two studies, right? Okay, but the problem is that you are using a direct quotation here. Here is the direct quotation. See? So basically, let's take a look. If there are two different researches, two different studies, so this passage can only come out from either one. Either his study or their study, right? So logically, this direct quotation cannot exist in any way, right? So basically, I think I move down to check the source of your reference. Oh, you say, okay, this come out from this paper. So this is one of the paper. This is the paper, right? Okay, I recognize this. So basically, I think you are using the citations from the source. And the citation is coming out from here and here. So be careful. When you use this, you have to go back to the original source. Original source. Okay, so this is one thing you have to consider. So what is the England and Lee's study and Bamberger's study talk about small firms? You have to find it out. Instead of just use another person's direct quote to refer to these two. It's wrong. Okay, so let's look here. We need to mark the boundary. So this is the beginning, and this is ending. Fine. But number two, there are some problem. So let's look at number two. Note number two is here. Is that right? But where is the beginning? We know this is the ending. But the beginning begins from here. Not clear. Or begin from here. We have no idea. And how about from here? So you can see that it will be very, very tricky. When you put the note number at the end of one sentence, you put over here. It signifies this is the end of the citation, but where is the beginning? In this case, there is no beginning at all. It could start from here, or here, or here. Is that right? Okay, so this is the problem. So if you do this, then it's very likely these sections are you are taking the ideas from some other studies, some other papers. Okay, so be careful for this one. You have to mark the boundary. So once you have the ending, please also identify a start. But how can you identify the beginning? Mark the beginning. You have to say something like this. Or you want to say, let's see this one. A Yale study indicated well, if you use this, then apparently this is the beginning, right? And this is the ending. So you have to mark the boundary all the time. It's very important. Okay, so just record this, and I will put this on our YouTube so you can go there to review the primary concept, the major concepts we highlight here.